Well, hello everyone. I decided to go ahead and use video on this one. I've made a bunch of screencasts. I've done some filming, but I have very seldomly, other than one activity, appeared in any of my videos. So do something a little bit different for these last couple wrap-ups. Starting off with reflecting on the course, I went ahead and I jotted down some notes, so I'll be looking over to the side here periodically. But starting off with the question of how has your thinking about digital citizenship changed over the class? I took this class as an elective partially to challenge myself. And by challenge myself, I mean I'm not overly technological person. I have a laptop, I have a TV, I have a cell phone, but very minimally engaged as far as had never made anything before, had never put together a video, had never, aside from what I had to do for school, that was pretty well the size of it. So I came in as a newbie and have really developed a lot of ideas over the last 12 weeks. So how's my thinking changed over digital citizenship? When we started the course, I had no idea what that means, and I still may not have the best idea of what that means. Many times I've stated that I think it's a little bit of a moving target, but I have went from not knowing what that entailed to having somewhat of a working definition. Have to excuse my study buddy here. She's always fighting me for the chair. So I feel like that's a marked improvement, and even though I still feel like it's a little bit of a moving target at times, the idea of going from not knowing what even the term digital citizenship meant to being able to say that digital citizenship to me parallels citizenship in the real world, that to be a contributing citizen of a country or a city or a state, there's certain requirements, and I'd say to be a contributing digital citizenship, those same requirements apply, they just apply in different ways. So moving to the next question, what came to seem more important? I'd say what really came to seem more important to me is that idea of, to be a digital citizen, you don't have to be someone that's out there, writing code, developing software. You can be somewhat of a passive user, almost more like myself, and still be a digital citizen by taking part in online discussions, through generating content, however simple that may be. You can be a digital citizen. And you should be a digital citizen. At the point that you're online in any capacity, you should view it as citizenship and be trying to be the best citizen possible. Rather, that's highly involved or passive. What came to seem less important, kind of cycling back on that contribution factor, and I mentioned that in the last one. To be a digital citizen, you don't have to be someone that's building, and that originally for me was a big part of the definition, or what I would have assumed, and it ended up not being the case. So what do you think about digital citizenship and how it relates to being a plain old citizen? Like I mentioned, to me now they're parallel terms. They go hand in hand as far as, if you are online in any capacity, you are on the verge of citizenship or digital citizenship, and to be able to understand what that entails and what your responsibilities are, much like how your responsibilities as a informed citizen of the United States are to be politically informed, to vote, to contribute to commerce. Those same things apply, but you need to be knowledgeable, you need to be informed, you need to be aware of what's going on, even if it is just at a high level, in order to be a productive digital citizen. How does your current understanding of digital citizenship influence you work, and how does influence your work and play? So that one's a little bit different, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a canned response for that one. I can't really say that it's changed the way that I play necessarily. It is neat through this class. I've had the opportunity to explore a few different, digital platforms and put use to some of the pictures and videos that I've captured while I out and play. But I will say that it makes for interesting. I haven't got to really use it in the workplace yet, but I would imagine as I move into work, I'm going to have a much better understanding of how I can use technology to my benefit. There have been things, videos and screencasts and things I've seen professors do but never really considered doing myself, never really thought of them as an instructional tool. Through this class I got to play with them a little bit, use them, learn a little bit, and now I've kind of developed this confidence and competence of I can actually see how I would use this in the classroom, and this is how I would use it in the classroom, and I feel like that's going to be a lot more valuable and really affect how I work. Have my routines and habits changed? I will say that I have a lot more now that I feel like I have to check. Get down. I went from having just an email that I checked daily to now I'm checking my Evernote daily. I'm going on and checking my Feedly. There's a lot more that I feel like I need to be aware of, aside from just checking my email and occasionally scrolling through the headlines that pop up when I open Google, which now I've learned that even those I need to be a little bit more critical of. So yeah, my routines and habits have changed as far as the amount of information I'm processing that I'm getting from digital sources, and I imagine that'll continue to change into the future. So how will I be a digital citizen? I'm not necessarily going to outright, change who I am or what I've been, but I am going to try to consider my actions online as the actions of a citizen. If I'm going to the comments section, much to am I going to a public forum debate? Am I contributing in a credible, useful way? Am I making value? And I think that's really something that's going to drive all of my online decisions is what I'm doing, or does what I'm doing provide value? Either educationally, monetarily, opinion, by voicing opinion, and if it isn't creating value, is there a way I can make it create value, or is it really necessary to be passed along? So I really have thought a lot deeper about some topics. I've learned a lot through this course, and it's really pushed me to act and think differently towards some topics that I was just relatively unfamiliar with. So that's been a lot of fun. But I'll kind of dive more into that in my next video for part 3.